Hello viewers! Yes, welcome to your March horoscope, which starts from today, the day of the grand eclipse. And I know I just could not find the time to make this video, but finally I can make it and I can show it to you in exactly the way I wanted to show you. Through this genius glass. I call this the genius glass. Okay? So this is your alignment right now, as of today. Okay? So you don't need to know anything as to which house, which one is which house. You just need to know the sign. See, it starts from Aries, which literally becomes the ascendant for the world. So for the world, this is the ascendant. This is something known as Kal Purush Kundali. Kal Purush, meaning the man of today's time. Okay, it's their horoscope. Anytime you don't have somebody's time of birth, most of the time Vedic astrologers in India will always either look at your chart from the moon or just make Aries the ascendant and try to read the chart. Okay, so this is like the world chart because the Aries is the very first sign. Okay, and Pisces is the 12th sign. So if you go in this chronological order, these are all those signs from Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. So this way you also know the houses. This is the first house, second house, all the way to 12 houses. So very simple. So what's happening right now? Obviously, the eclipse is happening in Leo and Aquarius axis. So Rahu, the north node of the moon, is in the 5th house in Leo. Ketu is in the sign of Aquarius, and Sun, Mercury, Moon. And today is the exact conjunction of Sun and Moon. And this is the eclipse. Now, what does eclipse really do? Okay, on a mundane level, we're trying to talk not in your birth chart, because if I was to say something about your birth chart, I can go completely wrong because I don't know exactly which planet this axis might be happening over. I don't know which house this is happening over. These are not the houses that they're in. These are just the signs. This is a sign chart. Okay? On a mundane level, first of all, Leo represents the king. This is the kingdom's court. The kingdom come. This represents governments. This represents royalty, celebrities, any kind of like a powerful organization. Okay, Aquarius represents the opposite. It represents the people that make up the kingdom. Leo is individual, the king. The king sits here. All rest of the people, society, the city, the county, the state, the country, that's Aquarius. So the eclipse, what it does is it brings about a dramatic change and shift into the government by the people, the society. And especially right now, every foreign government is going to heavily be influencing each other. Why? Rahu is transiting in the sign of Leo. Rahu is a foreign energy. Rahu represents something foreign. So what is this? Leo is that regal sign, right? The government. So here, your government will have to deal with some foreign issue. And this is the trigger point. It wasn't happening really as much. Now it has triggered this. And opposition is happening with Ketu in Aquarius and Sun, Mercury, Moon are here in the 11th house. And Sun actually owns this throne. Sun owns this throne of Leo. It's in Aquarius, which shows that leaders who are for the people are going to oppose leaders who are very egotistical and for the self. So you can have right now conflicts in government where a president or a prime minister is facing opposition with another leader, perhaps in the same party, perhaps in the same governing dynamics, meaning some opposite party leader. So if one is a Republican, the opposite Democratic leader might oppose him. Or foreign, okay, foreign leaders can oppose a leader of your country right now. But also Moon and Mercury are there. Moon is representing the mundane mindset of the world. And Mercury is there. Anytime Mercury and Moon are conjunct, okay, they both kind of make each other suffer. And what happens here is that great amount of emotional imbalance is going to be happening with people. People are just going to feel emotionally imbalanced. Little things will trigger people. And especially it'll trigger in terms of seeing the injustice in the world, in terms of helping the poor, helping the people who can help themselves. This can also include animals. Because Aquarius is 6th from the 6th of Virgo. Virgo represents small animals, pets, social welfare, social reform, non-profit organization. If you count 6 places from Virgo, Virgo is the 6th sign. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aquarius is the higher self of Virgo. It can represent animal in a large group. It can represent people in a large group. So instead of a non-profit organization, we're looking at UN. We're looking at Red Cross. We're looking at Net NGO. So there's going to be a lot of emotional imbalance in dealing with issues of society and including personal issues wherever Aquarius is in your sign. So, and obviously if you do not know where is exactly this happening in your horoscope, which house it's happening in, we know the signs, which house. Well, for that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books and my consultations at this link. So this way you can see, and I especially send you a video where I show you exactly what your report is showing. Okay, so this way you can see all these things. So this is the eclipse that's happening. Now, one thing that you will realize with this eclipse, okay, and let me actually see how long this is going to be. Okay, so it's not going to be for too long. Right now, as you see, you have these houses empty. Okay, so you have this empty. In astrology, the first sign, which is the first house, okay? So think of the first sign as the first house. The first, 4th, 7th, and 10th house, known as the pillar of the house. You need support of these houses to deal with anything else in your life. You need support system. These are the pillars. Like what makes a castle stand or a house stand? It's the pillars, right? The foundation. These are the foundation. Because right now they're empty, majority of the people will feel lack of support in their life. This is happening only for a few days though. But because it's happening on the eclipse, because it is happening on the day of the eclipse where these 4 signs, which is known as the quadrant, Kendra houses, are empty, there's going to be lack of support felt from the world. So that is something that you are going to experience here. And if right there's my eraser. So this is the theme of the eclipse. Now, how is it going to bring a change in your life? Well, it may bring a change, it may not bring a change. That's the whole thing about eclipses. They don't really always bring the change. You have to look at other things. You have to look at the time cycle. Does the time cycle shows change, which is known as dasha system? Okay? Does the dasha system shows any change through Vedic astrology? If the change is happening, if it's promised in this period, we can say that from today onwards, this transformation is going to happen in your life. And Rahu, obviously, in Leo, becomes extremely regal, royal, egotistical, and Rahu just simply wants to like be known as a king. So our individual ego is right now too much, okay? And when you realize that I have too much ego regarding my self-worth, this is where the opposition is going to come from. It's going to come from another leader who says, no, you don't have the ego. It's going to come from your friends, motherly figures, paternal lineage, people from there. You know, it's going to come from spiritual people who are outcast. They're going to be opposing your ego right now. Now, exactly which house this Rahu is in your chart is going to represent what is the ego related to. If it's happening in your career, it's going to be about your image and career itself, especially in this house, this house, this house. These are the Artha houses, 2nd, 10th, and 6th house. If it's happening in the 3rd house, your communication, you will be opposed because of your egotistical communication. So this is the dynamic that's happening. Then what else we're having is right now Jupiter is retrograde. See that R? I don't know if you can see that. It's a R here, which means retrograde. Saturn is in Sagittarius, and Saturn is going to go retrograde on March 25th till I believe August 18th or 13th. Saturn's going to go retrograde. So Saturn from Sagittarius sign is going to come back into Scorpio again. So Saturn is going to come back here on March 25th into Scorpio. Now, one thing I really feel and I really notice is that Scorpio energy for Saturn, and especially the first 13.5 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay, these two energy are pretty much quite same. Why? Because Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars and Ketu. This sign of Scorpio is ruled by these two planets. So Mars rules this sign and Ketu co-rules this sign. Now, the similarity here in Sagittarius comes because Sagittarius has a particular nakshatra, constellation working behind the scenes of a zodiac sign, known as Mula. There are 27 constellations behind the 12 zodiac sign, which is specifically used in Vedic astrology, which has literally will make your predictions accurate to 100%. And Mula is the first 13.5 degrees of Sagittarius, which is also ruled by Ketu. Okay, so Saturn is going to be in a very similar energy when it goes retrograde. Retrograde Saturn, though, shows that one has to deal with some unfinished karma in their life. If you did not pay your karma in Scorpio, Saturn is going to make sure that, okay, I'm going back to recheck the books. I'm going to go back and recheck things to see if the karma is paid back. If it's paid back, you will pretty much not going to feel anything. But if it's not, then you are going to be having to pay something back in Scorpio. One of the things that you will notice with Saturn, because it's going retrograde from Sagittarius, okay? Because it's going retrograde from the sign of Sagittarius, you're going to have to pay some karma back to a guru, to a teacher, or to knowledge. Spiritual knowledge, philosophical knowledge, religious knowledge, or because Scorpio also represents occultic knowledge. Okay? So this is the dynamic of Saturn that is going to be happening now. And then on the other hand, you're going to see right now Mars-Venus opposition, but Mars from March 1st onwards in March is going to come into the sign of Aries. So Mars is going to come here. What's going to happen in March, the laziness that you felt while hanging out with your girlfriend, Venus, Mars, the laziness that Mars felt hanging out with Venus and trying to please Venus, now finally is going to come back into its sign of Aries, which is all about taking action, which is all about pushing forward, which is all about aggression, assertiveness, courageousness, which is about what do you call, I'm losing my track of my mind here. It's physical discipline, athleticism, being physically active. So March is going to kickstart whichever house Mars is in your particular horoscope. Mars is going to kickstart that with great energy. So if it's your 10th house, your career is going to finally take a more attentive part of your life, meaning you're going to focus on your career. Now it says career, I'm showing career here, right? That this Capricorn, well, Capricorn is originally the 10th house. That's why I'm saying. So 10th house, if let's say for example, it's in your 10th house, that becomes the house of your career, natural zodiac sign of the Capricorn. Okay, so look at for the houses. So this is a great period now that the Mars is coming in. And what's going to happen is that Jupiter is right now opposing Venus, which is very good. I mean, right now, it's all about trying to feel the love, okay? And especially, okay, so by middle of March, my God, this thing keeps screwing up for me. And look, my wife is calling me. Can't talk right now, girl. So Moon, Mercury. So we're not going to do anything with the Moon because Moon changes sign in 2.5 days. So Mercury is going to come here as well. Okay? By middle of March, towards the end of March, Mercury is going to be in the sign of Aries with Mars. So again here, your communication towards the house, whichever house in your horoscope rules the sign of Aries, will have focus towards aggressive communication. You're going to be outspoken about that house. You're going to make sure that your voice is heard regarding that house. Whether it's happening in the 7th house of marriage, 10th house of career, 4th house of home life, mother, 3rd house of siblings, 9th house of guru. Like if it's happening in your 9th house, you're going to make sure your guru hears your opinion. You're going to make sure your guru hears who you are, paying more attention to you. You're going to be more focused upon the guru. So this is becoming our theme of Mars. Now Jupiter is retrograde since January 7th. By May, it's going to go direct. So then it's going to push forward the motion towards by August, September, coming into the sign of Libra. Okay, which we'll discuss later. But right now, I told you from last time, Jupiter specifically becomes very detail-oriented, very critical. The guru, the teacher, will be very critical of the student, nitpicking on the students. Whoever the guru is, whoever the teacher in any realm, he's going to criticize students. You're this, you did this, you did this, you did that, you did that. This is going to create conflicts. And especially because Jupiter represents your knowledge, your dharma. And when you have knowledge, when you have the right dharma, what happens? You feel happy, right? When I know something and I know my path in life, I am happy. This is why Jupiter represents prosperity. Prosperity comes through with Jupiter showing you your true path. Right now, because it's retrograde, people feel that they are being criticized for their path in life. Whatever path they have chosen, whatever the path they're on, they're going to be criticized by their guru. Like, no, you're wrong. You didn't do this. Or student may also criticize the guru back. sometimes it can happen as well. But right now, because Guru's Kark Avastha, meaning its condition, is such where the teacher itself is in a sign where it's not really happy, in the sign of Virgo. It has to pay attention to too many details. It has to deal with the everyday politics of dealing with students, dealing with knowledge. That's what Guru feels right now. So he's going to be very critical. Its energy is very critical. Once it comes into Libra by August, obviously, Guru is going to become very liberal. I don't know if I spelled it right. Liberal or something, whatever. I'm very bad in spellings. But that's what Jupiter is going to do as going into Libra. Where still it's not as happy, but at least things are being shared. Knowledge is being shared. Communication is being exchanged. Relationship with the Guru is becoming more focused and prominent. Okay? So guys, this was my March horoscope for all you guys. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know any kind of your astrological placements, my books, my readings, consultation, especially on the new Pi map, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you soon, maybe in mid-March, end of March, all right? And also, make sure to subscribe to my main channel. If you're new here, my main channel is KRS channel, so subscribe to that, all right?